What's up, bakers?
I'm Valentina and this is my Thea. Today we're making caramel apples. But not just any caramel apples. We're making autumn apples.
Autumn apples. Aren't you excited about this?
Yes.
Me too. I love caramel apples. You know who else loves caramel apples?
Who?
Nani. She loves them, loves them, loves them. So the extras are going to her. Do you want to walk our bakers through the list of ingredients we have?
Uh-huh. So we have apples, caramel bits, and popsicle sticks, and brown sugar, heavy cream, corn syrup, butter, a pinch of salt, sprinkles, M&Ms, and chopped peanuts.
Yep.
And we also have an empty pan with nothing.
Yes. We have a heavy bottom saucepan here. We're gonna actually teach you two ways, guys. We're gonna do homemade caramel for these caramel apples, but I know a lot of you guys are on the go, so a super simple, easy way to make caramel for caramel apples. They sell these at Walmart. They're called caramel bits. Sometimes they have the caramel squares. It's basically ready to go caramel. You would just add a little bit of heavy cream, pop it in the microwave, stir, 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 and you got your caramel to go. First things first, we're gonna prepare some of our apples. We are using Granny Smith apples. It's a very tart apple. They are my favorite for caramel apples because there's so much sweetness in the caramel. The apple, when you bite into it, balances it out because it's cool and it's tart, a little bit sour. We got a jumper. You can use any apples you have on hand. I would stay away from Red Delicious because they can be a little mealy, but a Gala apple, a Honeycrisp apple, a Fuji apple, all would be great choices. We want to prep our apples, so we're gonna remove the stems. So to do that, you can just twist and pull, and then while Valentina takes out the stems, I'm gonna go ahead and put our sticks in where our stems were. This does take a little bit of muscle, so parents and friends, this will be where you help out the kiddos. Hopefully I have enough strength to get this in. Okay, so harder than it looks, but secure. You wanna make sure that it's not all the way in, that it's poking out the other side, but deep enough that you're gonna be able to grab the caramel and put your fixins on.
Got it. Da.
Ta-da! Very good. We have all of our caramel apples prepped with the sticks in them. But as you can see, they still have a shine to them. You see that? So what we wanna do is help remove that. Apples have kind of a waxy seal. So we need to remove that waxy seal so that the caramel adheres to the apple. If not, it's gonna go whoosh right out the door. So what we're gonna do is take a few of these apples and we're gonna hold them in. I have some hot water here back on the stove. We're gonna hold them in for just a little bit and then we're gonna take a paper towel and wipe so that we can remove this waxy seal. Sounds good? Okay guys, so we're here at the stove and I had boiled this hot water and I let it cool down. So now it's just a hot water. And what we're gonna do, very carefully, again, we always wanna encourage safety first in the kitchen, so make sure you're holding it at the very tip. We're gonna put these in, just like that, for a good couple of seconds. You can also do this to the apples before you put the sticks on them. It actually probably would be better. And then you're just gonna repeat the process until all of your apples have been dunked in the water. And then we'll show you the next step. Now we just wanna dry our apples really well to make sure we get that wax off. And also, we don't want wet apples because then they'll just be slippery and caramel will be falling all over the place. So we finished drying off our apples. You see that little white film on there? That's because we melted all that wax. So now our caramel can adhere to the apples. But before we can get on with putting the caramel on the apples, we have to make the caramel. So, do you want to dump all of the ingredients in here? We have our butter.
Okay.
Pop it right in. Perfect.
Idea. Doesn't this look like an alien?
You are the cutest alien in the galaxy for sure. All right, next we have our heavy cream going in. Perfect. And we have our brown sugar. We're using dark brown sugar, but you can use light brown sugar. Whichever you have on hand is totally fine. Corn syrup. What I did was sprayed the bowl with a little bit of butter spray so that it helps kind of let everything slide out. And last but not least, our pinch of salt. Salt is super important here, guys. Remember, caramel is super sweet. You have to have that balance in there. It doesn't need to be incorporated at this point, guys. What we're gonna be doing is bringing it over to the stove and allowing everything to heat up together. All right, guys, so we're back at the stove. We have all of our ingredients in the pot. So now what we wanna do is put this on a medium heat. And this needs to come to about 235 to 240 degrees Fahrenheit. You can go ahead and put a candy thermometer in there. I have my Stingy Gingy.
No mooching!
I have my thermometer gun, which does the same thing. And just a disclaimer, guys, we are working with caramel. It is mega hot. So again, I want to reiterate, it is super important to make sure you are paying attention and safety comes first in the kitchen. Right, Valentina? Oh, we have our Mickey hand on deck. And you can go ahead and lightly stir this around. I know you guys might have the temptation to blast the heat all the way to high so that it comes to temperature quicker, but you'll only be damaging your caramel and scorching the bottom. So allow this to come up to temperature low and slow. Okay guys, so I just wanted to show you what the middle stage would look like. Right now, we're at about 195. Again, we need to get this to 235 to 240. So remember, low and slow, have patience. You don't want to go start a manicure or use the bathroom. Just stay by this. Look at the glorious caramel coming into formation. Right, Mama? And we'll show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, bakers, this has officially reached 235. Again, I have taken over stirring. This is super hot. It's melted hot sugar. So Valentina is not gonna be touching this anymore until it cools down. So we're gonna head back to our apples, and this needs to cool down till about 190 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, guys, so this is what the caramel will look like after all the bubbles subsided. You can see that nice, glorious caramel. Absolutely. Remember, guys, this needs to cool down, so I'm gonna pour it into this metal bowl to help the cooling process. And you want to keep checking on the temperature of this, guys. You only want it to cool to 190 degrees Fahrenheit. Any cooler than that, it's gonna be way too hard and it's not gonna be pliable to coat your apples with. All right, guys, so we're gonna set this to the side to allow this to cool. So this has come to temperature, and look at this, Valentina.
Whoa, that looks cool, Tia.
You're gonna be my helper with these apples. You wanna grab this small one?
Yeah.
So what you're gonna do, I'm gonna tilt, and you're gonna twirl the apple into the caramel to coat it. And then you're gonna place it on the parchment paper. You wanna use parchment paper, guys, so that it doesn't stick. Otherwise, it's game over. You'll never get the apple off of whatever it is you put it on. Perfect. And you want to pull it up. Let it drizzle a little. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Put a little wiggle. Put a little wiggle in it. Yeah. Gently scrape off the bottom. Because remember, this is still a little warm and the caramel will continue to melt on the way down. Did you want to put any fixins on that?
Oh, yeah.
You can put a few like M&Ms around it while I work on the next apple. You want to work somewhat quickly here, guys, because remember that the apples they're not cold, but they're not warm like the caramel is, so it does bring down the temperature. But no worries at all if your caramel gets too hard to be able to coat the apples in. You could just pop it back on the stove or pop it in the microwave and it'll come back to temperature. So Stinky Gingy, aka Neighborhood Watch, is clearly having a moment at the window right now.
Exactly.
So you can tell, guys, it's time for me to pop my caramel back on the stove or the oven. This one's kind of looking gloopy. Gloopy. That means extra caramel. Oops. So we're just finishing our extra decorations. We have one with a bit of sprinkles. We got one with some chopped nuts. That's my sister's favorite. And Noni likes plain old caramel apples.
But I'm taking this one with all the M&Ms because I love chocolate.
Yes, I love chocolate too. That one does look good. This makes me so excited. I think I'm ready for a dance party.
Dance party. Oh yeah.
We need to dig into one of these. What do you think?
Uh-huh.
All right. We have set this to cool just slightly because we're impatient, let's be honest, right? We want to dig into this. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. Again, safety first, sharp knife away from the baby.
I'm so excited to try this.
I know, me too. Oh man, you really covered this thing in M&Ms. This is gonna be so good.
I'll take this, please.
All right, go ahead, baby. Should we cheers? Cheers. Wow, this is so good.
But the caramel is so sticky.
Mm-hmm.
It's the apple is healthy, and everything else is not healthy. It's perfect.
It's a pretty good combination, right? You have to have the good with the bad. Meshed together, it makes the ultimate combination. It's like, oh, I went to caramel heaven. So good. Well, Valentina, what do we say to our bakers?
Well, bakers, make sure to give us a yummy thumbs up, click the subscribe button, and turn on the notification. And don't forget to check out our Instagram, Yummy Thumbs Up. Till next time, bakers.
Ciao for now.